Welcome to Pivotous. I'm Chrissy Larsen, the founder. I'm going to show you how to manage your online presence using the largest professional networking site in the world. We offer LinkedIn management services and corporate consulting. Think of us as your public relations assistant. So the question is, how to use LinkedIn to market? When promoting yourself, naturally you want to be invited to the most exclusive networking events in your industry. Think of LinkedIn as like the premier global networking channel. You have 24-hour access to your ideal clients. The problem is you may not know how to reach out to them. So we polled thousands of people and asked them if they would consider themselves as influencers. 95% of them said no. So we looked at the stats, and Facebook has 2.38 billion monthly active users. That is billion with a B, every single month. So have you ever commented, shared a picture, opinion, or a video in your Facebook newsfeed? And if you're not someone who clicks like or share, what about just following certain people and sharing your opinions on their actions with your circle of friends? What about Instagram? Instagram is just pictures, so people feel more comfortable in order just sharing pictures. They now have 1 billion monthly active users. Insta Stories is quickly becoming one of the leading platforms for people to share intimate details about their lives, both personally and professionally, with their followers. Still don't think you're an influencer? Well, let's talk about your children. Twitch, which is a streaming application for games like Fortnite and trying to think of some other games. My son plays a lot of games. I'm not really a big video game person, but they have 78.3 million monthly active users. Have you ever bought one of those latest Fortnite skins for your kids because it's only available for the next 24 hours? So guilty of that. Logan gets me every single time. Fortnite presented a FOMO offer. Your child's friend said, "Oh my God, we have to get this." Your child and their friends influenced your buying decision. What about next door? I walk every single morning to listen to my podcast, and they have over 10 million active users for the Nextdoor application. My Nextdoor application is crazy. People go on there all the time. I get notifications about every single thing that's going on. Now, the neighbors don't necessarily communicate one-on-one with each other, but they'll communicate on the Nextdoor app. So when I was young, all of our neighbors would hang out all the time. I knew everyone in my neighborhood, and now I can barely get my son to talk to the 3 boys that live directly next door to us. Instead of building relationships, we just spy and judge our neighbors from our cell phones. And so technology has forever changed our lives, for the good and the bad. So these are just the networks we use as communication channels with our friends, our family, our neighbors, our acquaintances. But what about the people who are watching you professionally? In a typical community, 10% or fewer of the members will post, ask questions, or engage with others. Only 1% will regularly be active in discussions and presentations, leaving 90% that will not post or speak up at all. We call these people the lurkers. Most people online are lurkers. They consume your content, but they won't engage. It doesn't mean they won't judge. People are watching and profiling you even if you aren't aware of it. You need to consider your actions at all times. So let's talk about LinkedIn. Most of you will have heard of it. Some of you will even be actively using it. LinkedIn is a place to showcase your personal and professional expertise. By what I mean is, from your main profile, you're personally branding yourself, and from your professional profile, your business page, you're professionally branding your company. The biggest misconception of LinkedIn is that it's only an online resume. So basically a boring outline of the places that you've worked. And this really couldn't be further from the truth. There's so much that can happen on LinkedIn if you use it correctly. But what happens is most people just spam each other and then they're completely turned off. It's kind of like making a really bad first impression. But LinkedIn allows you to organically grow your network and target connections like no other social platform ever will. I don't know if you remember, I think it was 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. LinkedIn is very much like that. It allows you to have depth into who you're connected. So you have first level connections, second level connections, and third level connections. LinkedIn is a place to develop your hero story. So basically what a hero story is why someone should work with you. So your origin story, everything that makes you unique and awesome. So what do you want to be known for? When you're not in the room or other people describe you to someone or if someone says, can you send a referral? And then you see it on Facebook and they're tagging people. What would you like to be tagged for? What do you want someone to instantaneously think of when they hear your name? Or if someone asks for an expert in your field, what is that field that you're in? And do you feel that you have created that sticking point for your expertise in everyone's mind? So what you want to do is create a story and decide what your end goal is. What would you like to accomplish to gain more clients, land a better position, increase your income, all of the above? As a professional, you need to put tools and systems in place to not only keep up with growth, but to build a viable, long-lasting business. So I'm going to teach you how to use technology, relationship development, and social selling that will transform your potential. There are 5 important elements to pay attention to when marketing on LinkedIn to achieve ultimate success. The first one is you must use the right systems to support your marketing efforts. What are the best tools and resources on the market? You must have a way to capture your connection's attention and make yourself stand out from the crowd. You must understand who your target audience is and how you find them. You must know what you are going to sell. Is it yourself because you'd like a better job, or a product or a service that you offer? Number 5 is you need a repeatable method to convert and close the prospects you target and connect with. So let's address the tools you should use to dominate on LinkedIn. There's a million tools out there. I've been working with LinkedIn for the last 4 years, and I'm just going to share the ones that are the favorite and the ones when we manage people's accounts, what we require you to use, just because they integrate seamlessly with one another. They are the least expensive and have the best return on investment. So you must use the right systems to support your marketing efforts, and what we are continually testing the current tools and resources that integrate with LinkedIn. There are tools we suggest to use to manage your marketing system. The first tool, you must upgrade to a pro version of your account. I personally don't think that this is negotiable. You have to, because they limit you so much. So on Facebook, when you're marketing, they want you to run ads. Now, LinkedIn does have ads, but I never suggest that people use the ads on LinkedIn. You just don't have to, because as of right now, I don't know if this is going to change because they're always changing their algorithm, but because they do charge this monthly rate, they allow you to have that organic reach. So you don't necessarily have to pay for the ad. So the way that I suggest you spend your marketing dollars is you spend ads on Facebook and you use the pro version of LinkedIn and get that organic growth. So prospecting can be tedious, so you want to consider using a prospecting tool. We require that people use DuckSoup. Now there's a lot of there's Linked Helper, there is, oh my gosh, there's so many of them out there. Meet Leonard, I believe, is one. DuckSoup is only $14.99, and does everything that you need it to do. The other ones may have some more bells and whistles, but you do not want to automate that much. When we send out, we will send out connection requests and endorsements via automation, but we never respond via automation. And I highly suggest that you stick with that method too, because you need to make it authentic in order for people to want to develop a relationship with you. LinkedIn is about relationship development. That's where the hero story comes in. And so if you're using automated responses, people are going to, they're gonna know that. And so you want to be authentic. If you're really going to try to move someone into the next level of relationship development and then eventually gain their trust and move them into a paying client, you do not want to automate your outgoing responses. So like I said, Duck Soup is a Chrome extension that's only $14.99 a month, and it's worth every penny. It's super inexpensive for the time it saves you. So if you're looking at time versus money, then this is the least expensive 50 cents a day that you're going to be spending. When prospecting, you need a unique way to differentiate. I can never say that word. I even practiced before I recorded this. I just can't say it. Yourself amongst the 630 million users on LinkedIn. So this is where I was talking about the hero funnels. To pre-frame your potential conversations we have with connections on LinkedIn. Now, what this is a unique selling point about yourself. So I raise pygmy goats. I'm a secret garage sale shopper. I actually was on a walk today with my Chihuahua, and there happened to be a garage sale, and then I got into a chatty conversation with the neighbors, and we're talking about everything. But this allows people to kind of get to know you on a personal side, to see, you know, what is your professional history. A lot of people, they don't know how to tell both who they are personally and professionally, and your hero story is the exact way that you should do this. Now, if you see on the top of this one, my hero story looks different than this. Now, I just use this as an example, but the reason I wanted to show this one is if you see where it says virtual coffee at the top, when you scroll on that, it always stays at the top. So when they click, it takes them directly to my calendar invite and then moves them to that 15-minute introductory call where we can qualify each other. Where do we see one another fitting into each other's lives? Is it on a person? Do we develop a friendship? Do we become JV partners? Do I buy something from them? Do they buy something from me? Do not go into relationship outreach one-sided. Do not go in and just your only intention is to sell to people. You have to be open to buying too, or you're not going to build those healthy relationships. So one of the cool things about using a hero funnel is if you travel a lot, then you can put all of the places that you're traveling. And so your virtual connections may then turn into, you know, more physical meetups. And that's where it takes it to the next level. I can't tell you how many people I've met online, developed these great relationships, talked to for years, and then you get to meet them in person. It's kind of the way with podcasting. I don't know if you're an active podcaster. I love podcasting. And when I go to these events and these podcast hosts are there, it's hard to not act like I know them, because I feel like I do know them. And you go up and you're like, oh, hey, it's so great to see you, Andrew. And you start talking, but obviously Andrew doesn't know me. It's only a one-sided thing. So this is nice to have those virtual connections, the people that you Skype with, you talk to, you like and share each other's posts. Maybe you have been on each other's podcasts. This is a great way to have that. Now at the bottom, you will notice that I have multiple call to action. So one is to join my LinkedIn Secrets Facebook group. Another one is Collaboration Rocks. So that's going to take you to a specific calendar link that is basically moving someone towards a collaborative conversation. Now, just the tips is talking about all of the tools and resources, much more in depth than what I'm going through just in this particular webinar, but it takes all of the stuff that I've used, how to use it, and why I think it's the best. And like I said, as we're going through and finding new tools or something updates, then we go in and try to update all of our material as well. And then how to get started. Now that's going to take into my sales page of what my services are. And so I've given people different buckets essentially to put themselves into. So it's my personal story. It's not a sales pitch at all. It says if you want to get together, here's the places I'm going to be. And then it gives people different avenues to follow up with me. Now, since I've pre-framed the conversation, when they get on the phone call, they pretty much know what we're going to talk about, who I am, and how maybe we can fit into each other's lives. So ClickFunnels is where we host these hero funnels and the follow-up funnels. So the hero funnel is the main origin story, and the follow-up funnel is obviously those clickable links that takes them into a sales flow, whatever your product or service or course. I mean, so many people do a million different things. The opportunities are endless. And so ClickFunnels is only $97 a month. And we actually offer to build your hero funnel and then give you templates for your follow-up funnels if you sign up with ClickFunnels through us. Now, this system is absolutely brilliant and is actually only getting better. I just got to see behind the scenes. I'm friends with the founder, Rodrigo. I got to see exactly what they're going to be offering. Now, these are beautiful smart lists. And so think Pinterest. The clickable cards in Pinterest, this system has clickable cards, but all of the noise that comes with the different distractions and the suggestions, you choose what goes into your smart list, and you can create custom smart lists as follow-ups for each of the people you talk to. Now, you should follow up with someone even if you're not planning to sell them. You can then suggest a podcast, a book, like both physical or audible, maybe something that they said reminded you of a song or some type of a meme or a Netflix show. There's a million things that you could drop their URLs that you just drop. See where it says add and paste your links here? So you just drop your URL link. This could be a white paper. This could be multiple sales materials or an article. Like that, what you could put in there is literally endless, and you customize that. Now, think about what that would mean to someone after you had them on a call, you were qualifying and asking the right questions, really focused on getting to know them, because how are you going to qualify them and see if they would be a potential a potential prospect or an ideal client of yours if you don't ask questions to get to know them, if you're literally just pitching yourself, which is what happens on LinkedIn. And for the people that hate LinkedIn, or for the people that do it bad, that is what they're doing. They are not listening, they're only talking. So here's an example of what one looks like. So I use John because he's a friend of mine. So John Payton, thank you for your time today. Here are a couple of afterthoughts I had based on our conversation. So then you go in, here's drop a link to a book. Here is, he needs a hero funnel built. So I put my training on what a hero funnel is and what that looks like in order to build that. And then Elizabeth, I wanted to make that connection and introduction. So it allows you to create that very customizable follow-up that's going to mean something. It's going to give value, kind of like when Amazon, you kind of feels like they know you because you buy something, they're like, oh, I think you'll also like this. Or Netflix is like, oh, there's a 98% match that you're going to like this show. Or you think something and then it automatically shows up in your Facebook feed. I think that's the creepiest one. But this is how you can have that customizable approach with what you're doing without actually having to have a large corporation that can pay for that type of follow-up and creepiness. So FYI is super inexpensive. The best 50 cents you'll spend a day a month, and you can have unlimited smart lists. So basically, if you have used those tools, the hero funnel, and I didn't talk about the optimization of your profile yet. I will get into that. That's huge. And there's this thing called the social selling index on LinkedIn that you can actually see where you're ranking in your industry and your network. But what we do as a company is we help you to attract them by putting your expertise up on a pedestal, and then we book the appointments for you. So we use Acuity scheduling because it's fully integratable and allows you to manage your appointments and workflow. Now let me explain this. So when you're reaching out to people and you're doing it correctly, where you're showing them value up front, you're complimenting their excellence, their expertise, you're making them feel valuable, then you can get booked out where you can't even breathe. So many people will say yes. Plus, we haven't got to the part where, well, I take it back. We did talk about Duck Soup. Duck Soup is a tool for reaching out. By using Duck Soup, we can reach anywhere from 100 to 500 exactly targeted connections every single day. Now think about that if most of those people are saying yes, and then even if half of those people say yes to connecting with you, and then just a small percentage say yes to having an appointment with you, you're going to be booked very quickly. So what we suggest is people to begin this process, they don't take more than 15-minute discovery calls or 15-minute discovery calls a day, because then you have that follow-up. Now, you also have to be able to have time to work with your current clients so that you're building your business at the exact same time as prospecting. So you have to be able to manage that workflow. Acuity scheduling allows you to do that. Now, Crystal Knows is basically the secret weapon. There's so many different personality types out there that if you're talking to all of these newly connected strangers, if you could see and peek into who they are, how they liked, how you should converse with them, how you should sell to them, all of the conversations that should be had with these individuals prior to speaking to them, that would definitely be a secret weapon. Well, there is a tool that does that. Crystal Knows uses a personality AI to accurately identify anyone's behavioral patterns by analyzing text samples, assessment responses, and other attributes. It goes in to your LinkedIn API and allows you to see what those conversations are. And so then it uses that information to facilitate more effective communication, stronger one-on-one relationships, and better decision making. It literally will tell you what to say and what not to say when speaking to someone. And it's actually really cool when you're typing a response to someone, it'll actually pop up and stop you and say, oh, maybe you should say it like this based on their personality profile. It's so cool. Once again, creepy. I mean, the internet's a little creepy now, but for prospecting and the fact that we can actually do this, I suggest you do it. It's really inexpensive, so it's only $1 a day, and you're getting to have unlimited profiling before you talk to someone. So you can change the way that you articulate, your tone of voice for each person, because if you have 4 back-to-back appointments, if you just pull up their profile and you're following the coach, and there's 64 possible personality types, it's highly likely that you're not going to get the same 4 personality types. So this tool, I highly suggest it. It integrates into HubSpot, the CRM that we suggest, because HubSpot is free, and it fully integrates into your LinkedIn. It also integrates into your calendar invite and to your Gmail. So it tracks everything, and it coaches you every conversation that you have, not just inside LinkedIn. So that's what I just said. Basically, it integrates seamlessly with everything. And so that is a tool that we super highly suggest. You, even if you just try it for 1 month, just to see if you can get used to having a coach tell you what to do and see if your conversions increase, it's worth at least trying it out. So when we work with someone, we take each one of your scheduled call, we add it to your CRM, then we pull their personality assessment, and their LinkedIn messages automatically show up within your HubSpot. That's why we looked at, I don't even know, countless different CRMs, and HubSpot won hands down based on its ease of use and the fact that we could pull all LinkedIn messages and conversations into one common place. So for having the, obviously since we're a LinkedIn marketing agency, that is the communications that we're doing for the clients so the client can see exactly what was said. That is obviously the most important thing. Here's what it looks like inside of there. So you can see John and I have a conversation going back and forth. You can see the personality assessment and conversation coach on the right side here. You can see where you click on it and it pops up. And then you can have your entire deal flow run right inside of here. So you can link all of your email conversations. And there's actually a tool that you can connect and integrate into this if you would like, that brings all of the conversations. So it doesn't matter if they have connected with you on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, email, it'll pull all of those conversations that you've had with that person and put it right inside this one common location. So Linked Hub is actually how you pull those over, and to bring those, it's $30 a month, so $1 a day to reach out with 1,000 connections. I mean, my target avatar for working with clients is they're selling high ticket items or continuity programs. So if you are my ideal client that comes onto our program, paying for these tools and having 1,000 new connections if you sell a product. So a lot of my clients, like their starting entry offer is about $3,500 up to $20K. So if they're getting 1,000 new connections a month and their conversion rates are high, they're obviously making a lot of money. So $30 a month isn't going to be a big deal for those individual clients. Zoom scheduling. So that's what I'm using to record this. I have the paid version based on the fact that I do Facebook Lives using it. So I believe I pay $54 a month in order to do it. But there is a free version. As long as it's only one-on-one conversations, then you can have long conversations. If there are 3 or more people, you can, on the free version, you can only talk for 40 minutes. But if you want the paid version without the webinars, it's only $15 a month. So it's still super inexpensive. Also, if you decide that you want to work with this, I highly suggest that you don't go and sign up for these accounts ahead of time, because we actually set them up for you, and because we need to integrate all of the APIs so that they work seamlessly together. So there's no reason for you to go and sign up ahead of time. They all have free offers. So we set you up with a free offer, and then you go in and add your credit cards once you decide, is it something that you actually want to work with? So they do all have those trial periods. And since we run everything off of a custom G Suite that we create for people, because all of these are Chrome extensions, so when we're working with someone, we build you a custom Chrome browser that is, that now you have a marketing Gmail account. We set and integrate everything into one another before you even start the process. So you said, if you do decide to work with us, then I suggest that you don't go and try to sign up for all of these tools, because then you would have 2 accounts, because we can't have it on your personal account. Since it's an extension, it's based on that toolbar. Hope that made sense. Like I said, we have a certain sequence we ask you follow, and we do the setup of each of the accounts for you. They must be integrated with one another, and if you set them up, this will not be the case. So now that we've covered most of the tools, or at least the ones that aren't free, let's talk about how to turn you into the superstar. So your LinkedIn marketing success is dependent upon drawing attention to your skills and expertise. You must have a fully optimized profile. This is very important. It's kind of time consuming, and I'm always surprised that people don't want to fill this out. I mean, if we can drive traffic and I show you how to have at least 100 new connections that we're reaching out to every single day, why would you not want to have a really great profile? I mean, the misconception is that it's just like a living resume, and it is a resume. Still, it just doesn't mean that that's the only thing that it is. So why would you not want to put your best foot forward when you are putting your professional expertise out there? So I hope that we have created a good enough process based on the feedback of everyone and kind of the pushback that they don't want to actually fill out their profile, that we have made the ease of filling out a profile appealing enough now that you won't fight us on filling out your profile, because you're actually ranked, that social selling index that I talked about, and then your search appearances are based on the keywords and the depth of what your profile looks like. So like I said, we have built a step-by-step tutorial to help you move quickly through this process. Most people undervalue their worth. It can be hard to describe your experiences and personal expertise. When you're young, basically you're taught to read and you grow and then you read to others. I don't know if you remember being young. I still have young children. So when an individual learns how to read in first grade, then by the time they get to third grade, then they are tutors to those first graders. So they're only 2 grades and they've only been reading for 3 years, and now they're teaching others and coaching them on how to read. So as you start to master each one of these skills, there's always someone that's going to be starting out that you could coach them. Now, if you look at all of the experiences and all of the knowledge, the cumulative knowledge that you have, how could you turn the skills that you have acquired into something that you could teach? Now, that's offering value up front to individuals. So if you share all of your experiences and you teach those that are new to your industry or that are still in first grade when you're in third grade, then you are going to be able to attract people with what you have to offer. So that's where people seem to undervalue, because they're like, I do not have a PhD in this, and you just need to be in third grade and you need to be teaching the first graders. So identifying your ideal customer is a key to success. Attracting the wrong clients can be a nightmare. And this is 100% true. If you are continually bringing on clients, for me, it's bringing on clients that won't do what we need them to do in order for us to move forward. And then if they're not getting the appointments, or they think they're getting the wrong appointments, most of the people want us to deliver individuals that are ready to buy. LinkedIn is not like that. You have to take the time to build that relationship. Everyone wants relationship. People hate being sold. So you have to use the power of persuasion, persuading them to trust you as a human, as a person, and then you can move into your pitch. But you can't just sell people anymore. That goes back to how technology has changed our life. You have to put in the time in order to build the relationship. And so if you're not willing to put in the time to develop those relationships, because you want to have a long-term relationship with your clients and make sure that they are the right clients, then you're going to pay for it later. So there are many different reasons you will connect with people on LinkedIn across multiple platforms. So some of these individuals, you would want to build joint ventures so you can leverage each other's influence and audience. So people that have similar interests are going to get really excited about what you're doing, but maybe wouldn't purchase from you because you're kind of doing the exact same thing, but you would have the exact same connections, and not literally the same connections, because remember there's 630,000. It's just the same type of audience that is similar that you could feed off of each other. Now, people work with people because they like that person. So there could be 8 people selling the exact same LinkedIn management tools and consulting that I'm selling, and they're going to like Joe and Sarah better than they like me, and so they're going to work with them, or vice versa. That's going to happen everywhere. So you want to be able to leverage each other's audience, support one another, and show that you are a supporter of collaborative efforts. You also, now, competitors, you don't always have to be friends with your competitors. So maybe the people that you're literally going up against, maybe they have the same company, and so you do want to connect with those people. So once again, you can leverage their audience, but you can keep a pulse on the market to follow what type of content, products, and services they're offering. I like to call it ethical stalking. Definitely your ideal clients, so identifying who those perfect clients are for you, the ones that you do want to serve and you're going to get along with long term. You need to break down what that client avatar looks like. In my opinion, there's different levels of doing this. You have a kind of a mass where like your business avatars, which you could describe multiple different people in that area. Or then you need to get very specific, because maybe you offer different services for the times in people's lives. So maybe you offer one service for individuals in their 20s and female individuals in their 20s. And you offer a different service for male prospects in their 50s. So these services and the way and where people start with working with you are going to be different. So understanding who you're targeting and how you target them with each bit of content or outreach that you have is very important to increase your success rate. Raving fans. So some of my biggest supporters have never been customers of mine. We've just developed those relationships, and they like what I'm doing, but either they can't afford what I'm doing, or they don't have the time or the interest. Well, not necessarily the interest, because they will comment, they'll show up for any Facebook Live, they'll share everything that I have. And then these are also individuals that you could create these engagement pods with. So finding those raving fans and those individuals, and how are you going to find those if you're not willing to have those introductory conversations? These introductory conversations are so important. And then that follow-up, so making it personal and following up with the smart list or what other methods you may want to use. This validates that you cared about them. It wasn't just a sales tactical call, and that you do want to support them in the future. Also, if you're looking for investors, employers, or talent, even the prominent figures in your community, they are on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is filled with decision makers, and so if you're trying to target individual decision makers, then LinkedIn is absolutely the place to go for that. So you use keywords and Boolean searches to find your new connections. So it's imperative that you're able to describe these ideal clients that I just talked about, because it's easier to upsell a happy client and then convert a new prospect. So knowing your value ladder will help you identify where someone will start and where you want them to end up. So maybe you start with a free product to qualify and capture them. So this is like an ebook or a checklist or a smart list. And then you have your entry-level offer. So this could be like a 30-day challenge, or just a inexpensive consultation, or maybe your entry-level course, then you have your first tier, and this will start to increase your profits because you're getting them to pull their credit card out, and then you've got your second and your top tier. Now, these price points I put kind of low just to show the tiers up. Like I said, I work with more individuals that their entry level is close to the top tier of what I wrote in here, but you get the idea. It's you have to start with a tiered approach, whatever your entry level is, and then keep moving up. So some clients will start at that first tier. You'll never have to have them go through your initial offer, your lead magnet. Or maybe someone, when you find them, they're ready to convert to your top tier right away. So having a door into each one of your services and a sales flow for that is extremely important. Now, it doesn't mean if they stop at your top tier that you can't back end funnel them, or like sales flow, and offer them those items because they're complementary upsells to them. So you've got your value ladder, and then you've got your upsells. So that's something that you want to think about when you start reaching out or you build your hero funnel. What are these offers that you're going to give to people? So we help you set up your profile, build your lead capture, and reach out to the right people. Because if you don't have a systematic approach to track your progress and keep you on task, you'll fail before you begin. Like I said, it can become overwhelming, especially, I was listening to a podcast. I don't know if you've ever listened to Alex Sharpen. I was listening to him. He wrote the Billionaire Code, and he's all about repeatable processes and systems. And so if you do not have a systematic approach, like using a CRM and a calendar invite in order to do this, then you're not going to be successful. It's going to get messy really fast. It's going to become overwhelming. Yesterday, one of our clients, we sent out over 200 custom response messages. That was in one day for him. So if he had to do that without us helping him, or if he didn't have a systematic approach for outreach, then 200 messages would have been extremely overwhelming. So that's why we suggest that you use these tools so you can have that repeatable method to convert and close your new prospects. So learning a new method can be challenging at times, but the benefits definitely outweigh the battle. So understanding what to look at, what stats you want to see, where your conversion rates, your engagement rates, what stats are you even wanting to follow? What makes sense on LinkedIn in order to get those viral posts or people to show up in your search appearances, for recruiters to look at your profile? These are the things that you want to take into consideration. So the world has never been better connected. Thus, the opportunity to build relationships and sell by leveraging social media is endless. So I invite you to join our collective and reap the rewards of collaborative marketing and social selling. So I want to talk about that. Like, what are the benefits of joining us versus doing it yourself? So we share the tools and resources for you to do either. And if you have a team that can help keep you on track and do this, great. What we've tried to build is affordability by working with us. So by joining our collective marketing solution, you're able to leverage the power of many versus paying for all the expenses yourself. So you can leverage the power of influencer marketing. We have already set up all of these engagement pods, and we help to direct you into those, and we show you what type of content goes viral and what type of content converts on LinkedIn in order to get that your search appearances high and to get your conversion rates up. So to have a successful influencer marketing campaign, you must have extensive knowledge of positioning to establish yourself as a leading industry expert. So we show you how. So that comes into ethically stalking your competitors. We show you all the tricks and tips on how to ethically stalk on LinkedIn. So you get notifications, you see when any of your competitors have posted, and you see exactly what they're posting at all times. And you can see how many views they're getting. Has it gone viral? LinkedIn allows you to see that. So being able to understand how to do that and what you're looking for is extremely important. Also, utilizing our collective knowledge. So we have expertise and experience in multiple different ways, or different areas, in order to pull this off. So mastering any new skill can be time consuming. So by partnering with us, we've already identified the skill set it takes to help you build a successful awareness campaign. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I had to drink a drink of water. All right, so we save you money. Our social marketing solution only costs you $16.50 a day. So we have trained and hired skilled experts in the field of automation, technical writing, analytics, social media, AI, content creation, social selling, LinkedIn, storytelling, SEO, system organization, and our global partnerships. Now, I'm not going to go through the price points of what each one of these individuals experts would cost if you hired them individually in this particular webinar, but down below, I have it all listed out. And you can see exactly how it works with our system inside of here, so you understand what those price points would cost in order to have an individual do this. I tried for a long time to have one individual. So all of our virtual assistants that work for the company, we tried to have an individual respond and do everything in someone. So they had to be good at digital marketing. They had to be good at creating the content. They had to be good at responding. They had to run all of the outreach platforms. And so an individual was only able to manage between 4 and 5 accounts, and they were working all day on these accounts. Now, if I break up what their job is for each individual thing, so only one person is sending out endorsements, one person is using the engagement pods and writing that content in order to get those posts to go viral, one person is scheduling all of that content, another person is going in and making sure that the follow-up in the calendar system is going good, another person is monitoring what an individual analytics looks like on an account. Are we showing up in all of the search? Is their social selling index improving? Are they getting into that top 1%? How many new connections do they have a month? How many of those connections converted into a call? So there needs to be different monitoring systems on each area of these different expertise. And so, like I said, it was overwhelming for me to teach individuals that I was working with, like one-on-one, teaching them how to do this. They were not able to do that. So an average VA, so if we're charging for these particular systems, basically the numbers didn't add. We were making a negative amount of money for the prices that I wanted to charge and that people felt comfortable paying and were compelled to keep using the system for, right? So we had to reconfigure our processes. Now that comes down to the systems and processes. We had to figure out to break these up so you're only doing one skill. You're only having to do one thing. Now that increased our output dramatically. Now one VA can manage 45 accounts in a single day. So think about that. I do have more VAs working, but cumulatively, I was able to get a higher output, better performance, and I was able to then create those specific skills. They had one thing that they have to do. We can monitor just that in each individual account. The people that are in our system can chip in to pay for these individuals to make it affordable for everybody. And that's how you save money, by using a social marketing system. So I guess I kind of went on the rant right there, but basically, what would it cost you to hire the in-house experts? I do put those price points below this video. So For a limited time, we're offering an incredible opportunity. You can see where that total value, I just explained it, of what that looks like. That's what it would cost you each month to have these experts on your team running your profiles for you. For you, it's only $9.99. And then it takes 30 days to implement, like the complete setup of everything where the systems are running. We've trained the automation. The first month we do everything manually because we do not want to get triggered and locked out of an account. So we do everything manually. Plus we're also going back and forth. So the first month is the most intense for the entrepreneur or the business owner that hires us, because we have to mine your personal expertise. We have no idea what you do, what you're great at, who you are prior to you coming and working with us. So it does take about a month for you to understand how to use all of the new tools, for us to set it up, for us to train your system, and for us to create a flow and a process in order to keep moving forward. Then you start having that momentum, and the flow goes really, really fast after that. And then at that time, you have probably taken enough time to understand what each one of those doors that I spoke about, that people are going to come in, what your value ladder is, and you have, based on the conversations that you're starting to have, you can really niche down and say, Chrissy, I don't believe that you're targeting the right clients for me. These conversations aren't going anywhere. Personality-wise, we're not even meshing. I don't see any way for us to collaborate or work together. So then that's going back to the drawing board and figuring out, maybe we're not looking at the right keywords. Maybe you think that your client is this, but in reality, they're described this way. And that happens all the time. So you wouldn't be the first person that would have to come back to us multiple times and us fix the outreach that we're doing based on your experiences from these conversations. So what this includes is your full technical setup, lifetime access to our Unlocking LinkedIn Secrets educational portal, a custom-built hero funnel, and a fully optimized profile. Then we will manage your outreach campaign for only $500 a month. That is the traffic. We do not create content. That's a completely different system. We will show you how to create content. If you do decide that you want content management or content creation, then there will be a place for you to move into that. We suggest that you don't start with that to begin with, because just getting a hold of the new process, you kind of like, this is the door that we suggest everyone comes in, and then if everything is moving and maybe you have a lot of content already, then we can totally step in and help you with that. So once again, you attract them and we book them. So after your 30-day launch, you'll be ready to move forward on your own or with us. So either way, we thank you for your interest in Pivotous and unlocking all of your LinkedIn secrets. I really look forward to working with you, and I appreciate the time that you took to listen to me, even when I had my little outros or tangents. All right, thank you so much.